happening, guys? This was Nakwal for iGyaan.in, and today we're going to be reviewing the new Sony Xperia iGyaan. Now, this phone was recently launched in India, and it is Sony's current flagship device, available at about 36,000 rupees in the market. This phone is running on a Qualcomm S3 processor, and it is running on a dual-core 1.5 gigahertz speed. It has 1 gigabyte of internal RAM and 16 gigabyte of internal storage. You also have a 4.55-inch 720p display over here, which has the mobile Bravia engine, very touch responsive, and very high levels of detail on the screen. Very crisp display indeed from Sony. So let's take a look at some of the great features and whether or not this device actually stacks up to the other competitors in the market. So let's talk about build quality. It's not polycarbonate like the 1X, but it is unibody aluminum, and it is impressively solidly built. There is zero tweaking from the device, and even in the color that we have, which is a red color, it looks pretty good. It feels really great in the hand, and you have tapered edges on the side, so it fits into your palm really well. The edges have been rounded off so that they don't hurt you like they did on the Xperia S. Xperia S sort of has sharp edges over here, but the Xperia iGyaan has been rounded off and is really smooth to touch. It's a little slippery and it might slip off, but that's why they have these soft touch top and bottom areas that allow you to get some grip from the phone. The screen is an excellent screen, and the minute you power it on, you see why the Sony Bravia engine is touted as one of the best display engines in today's LCD world. You also have a 12 megapixel camera that performs a little bit better than the Xperia S's camera, and I don't know why, but the camera is essentially the same sensor, is what Sony tells us. It is essentially the same camera, but perhaps a better software processor inside. I don't know. The front-facing 1.3 megapixel camera is capable of 720p video calls or video recording capability, so if you want to record your own self while using this camera, you can do that as well. Okay, let's talk about some of the main aspects of the interface. When you power on the device, you see your date and time information over here. You can scroll left or right to come into the music player. Actually, you can only scroll right on the time to come into your music player. On the bottom here, you have the lock-unlock slider, and you have a convenient slider to jump directly to the camera application. So once you slide it out, you can go into the camera application. Sony has now allowed you to use volume rockers to zoom in or zoom out of your subject, which is a fairly convenient feature. However, you have a convenient camera shutter button to click images that makes it really easy to click images on the Xperia iGyaan. Apart from the standard features, you also have a couple of shooting options: screen auto recognition normal, front camera, 3D sweep panorama, sweep multi-angle, and sweep panorama. So tons of shooting options, and you can go into further settings by pressing on the menu, and then you can choose your image resolution, your flash mode, self timer, smile detection, geotagging, capturing method. And if you switch from scene auto to normal mode, you get a lot more options, and you can set your white balance, your metering mode, image stabilization, focus modes, and shutter sounds, etc. in the camera application as well. You can conveniently switch to video mode, and then again you have a ton of settings for your video mode as well. So a very impressive camera application, and an excellent CMOS art sensor for the 12 megapixel camera. Exceptionally good picture quality even in low light conditions, and they fixed the flash issue that was there on the Xperia S, has been resolved on the Xperia iGyaan, so that's working great as well. So that's the first time we've actually started off with the camera. Now let's get back into the main interface aspects of the Xperia iGyaan. So slide from the left and you get the same timescape user interface that you've been seeing on Sony Xperia devices. Pinch in to see your overview of widgets. You get convenient widgets, so you have a timescape friends widget. You can now tap here and keep in touch with all your social networks. You also have a friend feed that can get in updates from Facebook and Twitter. You have this convenient quick launch type of widget that allows you to quick launch Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, backlight settings, and data monitor on and off, sound, GPS, etc. You can do that from here. You have this weather widget that allows you to get your local weather information, and you get this really nice weather widget over here. On the other side, you get a music player, you get friends music, so you can get the music that other friends of yours are listening to. And you also have a recommender application that recommends applications to you. Coming into the main application list, you have a very customizable, very easy to use interface that allows you to switch applications from one panel to another. You can also organize them in your own order. You can organize them alphabetically. Most used applications or recently installed applications is the kind of orders that you have, or you can customize it and set it in your own order. Once you do that, you can really make the device work for you in the way that you want to. On the main screen, you can create folders very easy. Simply drag and drop applications on top of each other and you can get a nice little folder over here. Now Xperia also comes with a ton of other settings that you have in Xperia devices. So there's an Xperia center over here, so you have PlayStation certification. So Xperia iGyaan comes with PlayStation certification, so you can buy PlayStation games off Google Play Store. You also have Facebook inside Xperia, so everything is interlinked with Facebook, so you can share your images, you can get updates and everything directly from Facebook onto your device. You have a liveware manager that allows you to perform certain set of actions every time you connect something to the device via Bluetooth or via USB. So every time you connect to a computer, you can fire up the file manager. Every time you connect your Bluetooth headset, you can Bluetooth headphones, you can play the music player. Every time you connect to a headset, it can go into the phone dialer. You can set all those things up. You can start apps and you can assign and search applications. Any app that you want can be assigned to this. You also have the NFC tag manager, which is the Xperia NFC tag manager. You simply jump into the Play Store and you come back into the home screen and you have something which is called a Sony sort of category, and you have all these applications that are designed for Xperia phones. So you can definitely go in there and look at a ton of these applications and download them for your Xperia device. Some of these are common to other devices as well, but most of them are designed specifically to work well with the Xperia devices. Now throughout the interface, you will see that the Xperia iGyaan is very fluid, very easy to use, no problems with the Xperia iGyaan in terms of usage. I've been using this for a couple of days now, and the overall experience of this device is very fast, very responsive. Overall interface. Usually after using it for a couple of days, the device starts to slow down. You also have a collaboration with EA Games that allows you to download a couple of applications for free, including Need for Speed Shift, and you have some free trials as well for the Xperia iGyaan. So that's the overall look at the interface. Very easy to use, very customizable interface from Sony. What I'm going to quickly do is open up Google Chrome now. Since it is running Ice Cream Sandwich Xperia iGyaan, it is easy to load up Google Chrome on this and load up our favorite website, which is easily available as soon as you type in the first three letters. And you'll see that the overall interface, the overall screen, and the sort of performance that the Xperia iGyaan gives makes it really easy and makes it a great experience to browse the internet on this device. So as you can see, the full website loads up quite quickly, and kinetic scrolling is very fluid. I can stop anywhere and pinch in, almost instant rendering for the device. Very smooth indeed. You can switch from portrait to landscape and vice versa. Again, you can see kinetic scrolling is very smooth, pinching in, very fluid, and overall looks great and works great. You get this really nice Xperia keyboard. Pinching in, panning around, everything seems to be really very fluid. We used it to extensively browse through websites and we had no complaints whatsoever. The stock browser that comes with the device is also very fluid. It is been customized to render data faster, so that also loads up websites really soon, and it loads them up in a proper fashion. No issues using the stock browser as well, but the fact that Google Chrome is available makes it an even better option. As you can see, again, this is the stock browser, closely interlinked on the same sort of platform that Google Chrome runs on. You can see it's also very smooth and responsive, and you can pan around, you can pinch in, pinch out. Everything works fluidly on the Xperia iGyaan. No complaints with internet. You can see portrait, landscape switches are also almost instantaneous. Now you hold down on the home button and you'll get your multitasking ice cream sandwich list. You can quickly swipe through the applications to close them. And now you have all your applications that are been shut down. Now this device was designed on gingerbread, so you do have the 4 buttons at the bottom: the menu button, the home button, back button and search button. But Sony has been kind enough to upgrade the device to ICS and has made use of all the existing buttons in a fashion where they still continue to work in their main initial usage that they were designed for. But they still also do things that buttons on the ice cream sandwich platform would do. So holding down on the home button gives you the multitasking menu that I just showed you. Holding down on the search button gives you Google Voice Search. So these things work great on the Xperia iGyaan as well. So that's internet browsing, that's the overall interface. I'm going to now show you the phone. A phone dialer, again, a very easy to use dialer. The earpiece over here is very, very loud. The microphone also picks up all sorts of audio and is very conveniently located at the bottom of the phone, so it picks up all sorts of audio. The earpiece is loud enough. The speakerphone at the back initially had some issues with sound quality, but that seemed to have been resolved after a quick system factory restore. So I'm now happy with the kind of audio quality that I get from the device, so no issues with that either. Messaging on this is an absolute breeze, and I'll show you just why. It's very easy to compose messages on the existing keyboard. I did not feel the need to install a third-party keyboard on this because for the simple fact that the keyboard on the Xperia iGyaan is a very fast keyboard. So if you like typing, the keyboard is very, very impressive. You also have the beautiful sort of trace functionality that works really well on this. So that works great as well on the keyboard. You have a ton of keyboard settings. So you can go into the Xperia keyboard settings. You can also turn on Google Voice. You can go into keyboard appearance and you can download and look at additional skins for the keyboard. So you can get a black keyboard, you can get a full white keyboard. I like the gray and white version, but just to show you guys how it looks, I'm going to come back into that and show you that you can now get a full black keyboard as well. It's according to your preference. You get the Google Voice Search key here as well. You have tons of settings. You can also add your own words, so that if, for example, you can add some Hindi words that you would type in English, and you can save them so that it does not autocorrect them into something that is not actually what you want to say. Again, converting it into landscape makes an even larger, very easy to use keyboard. The same sort of functionality remains beautifully working on this screen, and very easy to type, very responsive multi-touch screen that accepts up to 10 finger input. So it's a very touch friendly screen. You have Gorilla Glass on the front, so it is scratch and impact resistant. Beautiful display, beautiful touch response. Messaging, emailing is going to be brilliant on this. Voice to text also works great, and we tested it out, no worries with that whatsoever. So let's quickly now go into gaming, and I'm going to play Need for Speed Shift. This is a free game that comes with the Xperia iGyaan. has all sorts of games, including a free game, which is a great game according to me, Need for Speed Shift. Works brilliantly on the Xperia iGyaan, and there is no problem in terms of gaming, in terms of multimedia, in terms of video playback. Everything seems to work just great. We have an impressive 12 megapixel camera that does brilliant pictures. We have impressive audio quality from the speaker, the microphone, as well as the loudspeaker. We have great image stabilization enabled, full HD video, and we have tons of great hardware inside. Essentially, you don't really need quad-core processors unless you're going to be tweaking your device to another level. Battery life on this is massively improved. We get great talk time of about 5 to 6 hours on 2G networks, about 4.5 hours on 3G networks. Great internet browsing time, and overall battery life, it'll last you over a day on an average usage, and we're happy with that. Network was stable throughout. Very impressive networks on the Xperia iGyaan. Overall, a impressive device from Sony. We just feel that the price point of Sony devices is a little more compared to other devices. It is a little steeply priced, but it gives you a different niche altogether. It is a premium product. It is designed, it looks, it's built to a premium fashion. It does have hardware inside which is comparable to other devices. Again, in terms of if you get into nitty-gritties of it, it does not have a quad-core processor in comparison to the Galaxy S3 and in comparison to the One X. But in terms of performance, in terms of usage, this device is almost at par with the other devices. The last thing I'm going to do before I conclude this video is I'm going to run benchmarks for you guys. So starting with quadrant standard, I'm just going to quickly run through quadrant, and actually before I do that, I'll see if any other application is running, and we have tons of other applications running. I'm just going to quit all of them before I start the benchmark. On the quadrant benchmark score chart, it scores a 3176, which is a pretty impressive score for a dual core device. Impressive scores on a quadrant, running stock ROMs, no customizations, nothing done except a standard benchmark. I'm also going to run Ninamark 2. Again, before I do that, I'm going to quit quadrant that's running in the background and run Ninamark 2 for you guys. Okay, so we kind of ran out of battery while running benchmarks. So let's quickly finish that up, and I'm going to run Ninamark 2 right now for you guys. So notice how it is currently running on a full battery. I mean, it's on a charger, so there might be a performance difference when you run it off a battery. But it shouldn't be too much. So an impressive 38.2 FPS for the benchmarks over there on Ninamark. And the last thing I'm going to do is run an AnTuTu benchmark. And again, before I do that, I'm going to quit Ninamark and any other application. So I'm going to start the test. I'm going to run a full test and see how that looks on the Xperia iGyaan. So there you go. It gets a total AnTuTu score of 6640. CPU clocks in at 3066, GPU at 1552, RAM at 1292, and input output at 730. Overall score of 4.5 stars out of 5 on the AnTuTu benchmark, which is pretty impressive for the Xperia iGyaan. Like I said before, the device is exceptionally well built. It is a great alternative to those who are actually contemplating between an S3 and a One X. And if you can't decide, I say go for the Xperia iGyaan, because it offers a completely different experience than you would have had on any Android device. It is a very easy to use phone, and it will get the Jelly Bean update is what I feel, because the hardware completely supports it. It only depends on the fact whether Sony is ready to deliver an update or not, and they haven't actually confirmed whether they are going to deliver this update. The overall interface is very smooth, very fluid to use. Keyboard is exceptionally good. Browser is wonderful, and the screen is absolutely stunning, and so is the speaker. Overall, a great package from Sony. It is slightly on the higher side, but it does offer a value proposition for that price. For more unboxing videos, reviews and tutorials, log on to iGyaan.in. If you have any questions or queries, you can leave those in the comment section below, or on Facebook, Twitter, Google+. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/iGyaan, youtube.com/iGyaan TV. For iGyaan Networks, this has been Buzz.